Aloha and welcome back. This is Natasha. So I did just redo my beginning of this video just to turn it into a more Christmassy themed because it's the kind of we're heading into that season. So anyway, moving on to card number 3 and 4 for this kit. So I started off and I just off camera, I stamped a bunch of images from the stamp set and I colored them in with my Spectrum Noir alcohol markers and cut them out. So I just have a bunch of them and just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with these scene cards. As you know, I'm not very good at them, but practice makes perfect. So I took a panel and I cut it down with my favorite Borders die cut from Lawn Fawn, and I'm inking it up with some distress inks. The paper that I'm using is, it's got like a pattern on it, like it's like embossed. Yeah, so you'll see it right here when I use this blueprint sketch. Or is that Chipped Sapphire? Sorry, Chipped Sapphire. You'll start to see it come out a little bit. It's kind of like a denim look with the, yeah, kind of looks like a denim embossed on this paper. But anyway, I'm just inking up the edges and trying to leave a lighter space on in the middle of the panel here. Okay, and just going back and forth. And I don't know if you fellow card makers get inky, but I get super inky when I do ink blending. So using some of this gesso, the white gesso, I'm just going to put some on my craft mat and dilute it with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to bring in a box and I'm just going to be splattering it to make it look like snow. So you see I'm having difficulties and I'm not getting it small enough. So I just basically was flicking it on my fingernail and painting my fingernail white. But that worked a lot better. I was getting these big splotches that I just didn't want. Okay, so cut down another piece of that glitter cardstock that I have in my stash that I'm trying to get rid of. And I cut that into a heel border, and I'm going to be placing that at the bottom of my panel here. I'm going to be attaching the little deer stamp and cutout that I made. I'm going to be placing him down with some liquid adhesive, and I'm really trying to concentrate him on, or her, on covering that two big huge splotches of white gesso that I had on my page, just trying to, you know, disguise that mistake that I made. And then taking the little bench that I had colored, and I am just applying a little bit of liquid adhesive and some foam tape just to put that there on the hill. And then I'm going to be attaching my lamppost with a little bit of liquid adhesive as well. Okay. And I'm sure you can tell by this point, I have not figured out where I was going to put my sentiment. No idea. So I decided to just white heat emboss on black cardstock the Merry Christmas that came in the stamp set. And I'm just going to pop that on some foam adhesive, and that's going to be it. So the other thing that I did do, and I didn't catch this on film, but I did I'm adding some Wink of Stella to the black cardstock, and I did put a little bit of these snowflakes that I had left over from the last card that I made. But I did also take a white gel pen and I put some dots all over the little stamped elements that I have on this card, just to make it look like everything was getting, you know, we're going through a huge snow blizzard or something. Okay, so that's basically the card number 3. And then we move right into card number 4. So here I took 2 of my favorite Borders dies and I cut like 2 panels out. Okay, and I'm gonna be using the little, it's like a frozen pond looking stamp in the stamp set. So I'm going to be using that, prepping my surface, and I'm going to stamp that down with some Versamark ink. And then I take some Wow embossing powder. I haven't used this in so long. It's the Atlantic Sea Spray. I wanted something kind of blue and glittery for the pond. And I'm going to be adding that to my image there, and then heat setting that. So like I said, I really this has been a challenge for me because I am not like a scene building kind of card maker, but it's been fun. It's been pretty cool to kind of really expand my skills and trying to figure out, you know, what I can do. So I just colored in with some of my alcohol marker on the little pond, and I'm going to be using that little figure skater that I colored earlier. And so when I put her on my panel, and my plan was to put her on the panel and then use a die cut and cut out some kind of little sentiment going across the top. But then when I put her on, I was like, oh, it looks so bare in the back. I just couldn't stand it. So I ended up adding more of those snowflakes. I cut out such a bunch for the last card. They have so much left over. So I just filled the back with all these snowflakes. And then I am attaching my little figure skater with some foam adhesive, and I'm using this thing. I've had it for so long. It's from Stampendous, and it's Fuzzy Fun Flock, and it's the Caramel Latte Tan. I've had it for a really long time, and I use it every single like Christmas season for teddy bears, or you know, any kind of like these little pom-pom things on her hat. So I always use it, but you just use such a small amount that this bottle has lasted me, I swear, like 5 years. So you see the texture, it's just like this soft, flocky feeling. So I just added some liquid adhesive, and I'm putting a little bit of the Fun Flock on her little pom-poms on her hat. It's a really cool little touch to just give something extra to your cards so that people know, you know, it's really a handmade card. So I took this panel I cut from this Merry Little Christmas designer paper pad, and I'm pretty sure it's no longer being sold, but you could use anything with a striped tone on tone for that would be really cute. So then using the outside border, I did pop that up on some foam adhesive, and then I'm gonna inlay my little focal panel there with some liquid adhesive. And I'm using liquid because I tend to not get things in, you know, straight the first time, so I always have to fiddle around with them. Okay, and then it's inevitable. I did not think of where I was going to put, you guessed it, my sentiment. So I just put it right there and stamped it on with some sea glass from Avery Elle. And then using my matte multi-medium, I really wanted to give her little outfit a little sparkle. So I'm using the Tim Holtz Distress, what is it called? Rock Candy Glitter? Pretty sure. So it's the really thick, coarse glitter that you get from Tim Holtz, the Distress. And I'm just going to be adding that to the bottom of her little dress, and then the sleeves of her shirt or her jacket. And there you can see the shine. And I did have some little strays, so I just brushed them off with a dry paintbrush. Okay, and that is card number 4. And so here's a couple of still shots of the 2 cards that I made today. As you can see, here is where I put a bunch of white gel pen dots all over my stamped images there. And it was fun doing these 2 cards. Really I had to expand my mind in thinking, you know, of other ways to really do scenes. I feel like they're not really scenes. Like, I don't know if anybody watches Nicole Spore, I think is her name, but she creates some really crazy scenes with her cards, and I hope that I can do a couple of cards like that. I just, these are still pretty simple and pretty basic, but I think they came out really, really cute. I like the way the little skater looks like she's holding that snowflake there. It's really cute. All right, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like. I'll catch you on the next.